So you're trying to use DoorDash to stack some extra cash on the side, a side hustle, but you're juggling a full-time job, maybe a family, and everything else life just throws at you. After hours of driving, you're looking at your earnings and it just feels disappointing. You're putting in the time, you're burning gas, you're putting wear and tear in your car, but the payout doesn't really seem worth it. It's easy to start wondering, am I doing this wrong? What if I told you that, yeah, you probably are? What if I told you there are a few common money draining mistakes most new and even part time dashers make? And what if a few simple tweaks to your strategy could help you push your earnings towards $25, $30, or even more per hour in the right conditions? In this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate strategy for part time dashing. No fluff, just the real deal, actionable tips that will stop you from wasting time and help you maximize every single minute you're on the road. Well, let's get into it. All right, first things first, the absolute foundation of any good dashing strategy is to know when and where to drive. It sounds basic, it sounds simple, but honestly, this is half the battle. So here's tip number one: become a master of peak pay and peak hours. If you only take one thing away from this section, make it this: don't just drive whenever you have a free hour. I know it's easy to do because that's your time and your time is valuable, but drive when it's actually profitable. DoorDash literally tells you when they need you, and sometimes it's because they put in peak pay. Peak pay, it's that bonus, maybe an extra dollar or two or even more. It's tacked on to every single delivery that you do. However, it also attracts more drivers, so just be cautious. Sometimes peak pay isn't the best time to go out, but it does let you know when your areas are busy. Another thing is to always pay attention to your DoorDash map. Is it gray, pink, busy, very busy? Those are very good tell signs. The best times are almost always the lunch and dinner rushes. Think 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, and the big one, which is dinner, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is when order volume goes through the roof, hopefully in your market. More orders mean less sitting around, and when they offer peak pays, it means that you're getting paid more for each trip. Weekends are a total gold mine. Hopefully they are busy in your market, often starting Friday dinner and running through straight through Sunday night. Here's a pro tip for part-timers: use the scheduling tool in the app. Make sure you have every shift scheduled. Don't just cross your fingers and hope that you can log on during these prime times. They're not always available. Even prime times might be gray on the map. Book your dashes in advance to guarantee your spot, especially if your market is crowded and oversaturated. Even if you don't work during those times, still schedule, ensuring that you have the times in there. This lets you build DoorDash around your life, not the other way around. Tip number two: know your zone and find your what we call power strips. The Dasher app loves to show you where the hot spots are. Those are those little red zones that orders are supposedly popping off. And yeah, they can be a decent hint, but a huge mistake is honestly chasing hot spots that are like 15 minutes away across town. By the time you get there, there's only an 8-minute interval before they change to the next hotspot. Burning gas and time, that rush might be completely over and the hotspot might change before you even get there. Instead, you've got to learn your own zone and your own mini hotspots. Think about it. Where are the biggest clusters of popular restaurants? I'm talking those plazas or stretches of road that have popular restaurants, or even like Chipotle's, Panera's, a popular local pizza joint, or even a sushi place, all in a row and all right next to each other. These are called power strips. Hanging out near one of these dramatically increases your odds of getting back to back orders without driving all over creation. Also, check the actual DoorDash app where you order food and figure out what restaurants are busy. That is a big key to knowing your market. You also want to avoid dragging way out of your zone into residential areas with zero restaurants. A profitable dash is all about density, dense restaurants, dense orders. Use major roads as your boundaries on where you want to go and not want to go, and be very skeptical of any orders that tries to pull you out of your zone in a delivery desert that you have to drive all the way back. And if that does happen, make sure the money is definitely worth it. Okay, so you're driving at the right time and in the right place. Now for the most important skill you will ever learn as a dasher: knowing which orders to take, and more importantly, which ones to slam that decline button on. So the golden rule is to aim for a specific dollar per hour. I'm going to let you set that for yourself because you're running your own business. But burn this through your brain. The goal is to accept orders that pay you, in my opinion, $1.50 to $2 or more for every mile that you drive. The real pros stick to about $2 per mile, especially if you don't care about the rewards program or any tiers, and you can pick whatever orders you want. When an offer pops up, you have to do some quick math. The app shows you the total payout and the total miles. Let's say an offer is $6 to go 5 miles. During slow time, it might be something that you want to take, but during peak times, that's barely over $1 per mile. Once you factor in gas, wear and tear in your car, and the time to drive back, you're probably made less than minimum wage. That's a bad deal. You should probably decline that, especially during peak times. It's tricky because you also have to know when slow times are, when busy times are, because you might have taken this when there's nothing going on and no orders are coming into your phone. If you want to keep the wheels moving and also want to keep orders coming in during slow times, that might be a good order. During peak times, decline, not so much. But what if an offer pops up for $8 and it's a 3 mile trip? That's nearly $3 a mile. That's a fantastic order. Accept it. Go ahead, you can do it. This one single metric is the best way to judge if a delivery is profitable. It forces you to account for your car's costs and ensures that you're being paid fairly for your time. Let me bust a huge myth for you. New dashers, and even part-time dashers who don't work the app very often, see their acceptance rate and they panic, thinking they have to take every single order, and they're afraid a low rate will get them deactivated. That is completely false. You are an independent contractor and you have every right to decline an order that isn't profitable for you or one that you don't want to do. In fact, a low acceptance rate is often, sometimes, a sign of a smart dasher who refuses to work for pennies. Honestly, if I was part-time doing this less than 10 hours a week, I wouldn't worry about tiers, I wouldn't worry about rewards, and I would try to get the best and brightest offers out there. That's just me. Currently, right now, though, I am a platinum driver because I work a lot of hours on DoorDash and I find the value of it. But you need to understand how your choices with acceptance rate interacts with the DoorDash's rewards program. The program has different tiers like silver, gold, and platinum. To reach the higher tiers, you need to maintain a higher customer rating, a higher completion rate, and crucially, a higher acceptance rate, often 70%. Some markets are 80% for platinum status. The perks of these tiers are getting priority over higher paying orders or being able to dash now if you're a platinum driver. It can sound tempting, but here is the trade off for part timers. Is it really worth it? To keep a high acceptance rate, you'll be forced to take unprofitable orders, long distance orders, and sometimes low paying orders. And sometimes it can lower your overall earnings to get to these tiers. For most part-time dashers, focusing on profitable dollar per mile ratio is a much better strategy than chasing a status that forces you to lose money on bad trips and to maintain it. That's why you have to really understand how the rewards program works, what tiers you have to do and accomplish a metric in each one, and really figure out, is it worth it to maintain a high acceptance rate? I think you need to understand how many hours as a dasher you really are going to work and then make your decision based off of that, and whether you're okay with taking some of these more difficult orders. By the way, if this tip just lifted a huge weight off your shoulders with the whole acceptance rate thing, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube that this is good information and it helps other dashers just like yourself find this video. Now, let's talk about the little things that can absolutely wreck a good day of dashing. These are mistakes that separate the pros from the rookies. This sounds so simple, but one $50 parking ticket can wipe out your earnings for an entire shift. When you see that order for a downtown high rise or a downtown area that you can only double park, or a huge apartment complex with zero parking, you need to think twice about some of these orders. Circling the block for 10 minutes trying to find a spot is 10 minutes that you're wasting and not making money. Parking illegally, even just for a minute, is a complete gamble that you could eventually lose, and you can also lose your profits for the entire shift that you're working. If you know a certain part of your zone is a parking nightmare, it's often smarter to avoid orders going there, especially during busy hours. If it's off-peak hours and you know it's slow, then you might try it if it's worth it. Sometimes the most profitable move you can make is declining an order that you know is going to be a complete headache from start to finish. DoorDash will often send you stacked orders, 2 pickups, 2 drop-offs bundled together. This can be a really awesome way for you to boost your hourly rate. But only if the stacked actually makes sense. Before you hit accept, look at the map. Are the 2 drop-offs in the same general location? Does the money to mile ratio make sense? Does the total payout meet all of your expectations as a dasher? Those are questions you have to answer before you accept orders like these. The danger is accepting a stacked where the second delivery sends you 15 minutes a completely opposite direction, and you also risk the second customer's food getting cold, which can then lead to a completely bad rating. Don't be afraid to unassign part of the stack if you are waiting for more than 10 minutes at a restaurant and you go to the question mark on the top right hand side and you see that says worry-free unassigned. It is available in some markets. It's not available in other markets. If it says worry-free unassigned, it does not affect your cancellation rate, and you can unassign and move on and still complete the other order in that stacked order. And that's definitely a pro move. To really kill it as a part-time dasher, you have to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a small business owner. With that being said, you have earn by time versus earn per offer. If earn by time is available, a lot of times you log in and it is not. if I was part-time and I had an employee mentality, you might want to work earn by time some nights if that's something that you're used to. I would try both to see which one is more profitable, knowing though that if you do earn by time, I am personally not a big fan of this, but if you do it, know that you are going to be taking long distance orders, low tip orders, no tip orders, and it's probably not going to be the most profitable move for someone doing this part time. It's just something you might want to explore as you are learning the DoorDash app or just doing it for minimal hours. As an independent contractor, your car is a business asset. Your miles are your biggest expense. Every mile you drive for DoorDash from the second you leave their house to the time you get back is a potential tax deduction. Use a mileage tracker app that runs in the background, and it is the easiest way to do this. Or you can get your own spreadsheets and track it manually if you choose to do so. This one simple habit can literally save you thousands of dollars on your tax bill. You should also keep track of your expenses that you use for doing your business. Other expenses can be a percentage of your phone bill, any hot bags you buy, phone mounts you buy, so on and so forth. These are all write-offs that lower your taxable income and put more money back where it belongs in your pocket. This is what it means to run your own dashing business. All right, so let's tie this all up together. The game plan is simple. First, master your turf by driving during peak hours and sticking to your power strips, whatever you find in your market. Second, be ruthless with your order selection. Live by dollars per mile, whatever you set for yourself, and forget about your acceptance rate unless you're trying to do the tier system and trying to be part of the rewards. Third, dodge those rookie mistakes like parking tickets and bad stacked orders. And finally, start thinking like a business owner by tracking every mile and every expense. Making great money with DoorDash part-time isn't about luck. It's about a strategy. It's about valuing your time, knowing what you're worth, and making smart decisions to boost your profits. While platinum dashers in busy areas can make over $30 an hour, a realistic goal for most is to be consistently earning between $20 and $25 per hour by following these simple steps. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the number one strategy that's made the biggest difference in your earnings? Drop it in the comments below. Let's help each other out. And if you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe for more straight to the point strategies to help you win in the DoorDash economy. Now go out there and go make your money. I talked a little bit in this video about acceptance rates. It's a big part of what we do as dashers. Well, I explain how acceptance rates works and the lies behind them. You're going to want to check this video out next, and I'll see you over there.